Okay? That's a Brazilian butt lift, baby. He got a shelf and a slope. That booty is banging. I can't help myself. I just be looking at it. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Being Simone Iman. I am Simone Iman on Natural. I'm giving y'all real me teas, okay? If you're new here, I do a little bit of everything. My channel is my personal diary. Right now, I am doing reviews for my favorite reality show, almost of all time, Married at First Sight, season 12 in Atlanta. We are going to talk about episode 15 today. First things first, subscribe, like the video, and let's get into this couple's retreat. Very light on the treat, okay? We was reading. I don't know if we was treating. We was rehashing a lot of old shit that don't need to be discussed no more, because y'all ain't gonna make it. Okay, so y'all, the episode was kind of hard to take notes for because there were so many like couple moments, but group moments. But I'm gonna try to keep it going from what I remember the actual episode playing out as. So in the beginning, we're gonna start with Eric and Virginia. Y'all, run, Jenny, run. Not run Forrest, child. Run, Jenny. Okay, Virginia needs to run. Eric has this like twitch that he gets or something when she like is opposing him and her thoughts or her views, or if she has a difference in opinion, or if she calls him out on his toxicity and unwillingness to compromise, that it just don't sit right with me and my spirit. You know, both of them discuss their relationship, and it's very hot and cold, up and down. It's a revolving door. They're good one moment, they're not good the next moment, but they love each other, child, not a stranger. Y'all, I'm not gonna be fussing with no stranger every other day and then be like, but I love him. Where they do that at? Like, it don't make sense to me. In the car conversation when they're headed to Hilton Head, it was super tense, and he says that he doesn't like that she calls him out or she gets on him in front of the cameras. He, to me, has grown up in a very Stepford environment. He has a very Stepford image of himself as a airline pilot, military veteran, military pilot, what have you. And so anything that doesn't display him in his best light, he has a problem with. They sit down, and when they're talking to the couples when they're eating, he's saying, you know, that he's had to be very patient with Virginia. What you think she being with you? But I love what she said. She likes him, but she loves him, but she doesn't always like him. She needs to flip that. You like him, you don't always love him. And I think it's a very Christian like, agape like love, girl, because you can't be in love with a man who is literally sucking the you out of you. He says that it's hard for him to accept that he's not her number one person. And she's like, well, we only been married a month and a half. And while there is validity in what Virginia said, let's look at them as opposed to Brianna and Vincent. Brianna is definitely Vincent's number one person, and vice versa. But it's because they have a connection and they have a mutual respect for one another. There's a lack of respect in the relationship between Erica and Virginia that just don't sit right with me or Virginia. And instead of acknowledging that and accepting it for what it is, she's trying to, you know, mull it over like that's not really a big deal, when that's absolutely a deal breaker. That's absolutely something that's making her, you know, she says she feels like she wants to run, and these are the reasons why. This man literally does not respect you or your dog and wants to change everything about you guys. They go on their picnic and they have like champagne, and it's really a charcuterie board in champagne, not a picnic. And they talk about their relationship again. That's why I say it was a lot of no treat, because we already knew all this that they're discussing about one another. And they start talking about decision day and what they will say, and they're speaking in code. But what I get from Eric, you know, Eric is going to say yes I believe. But then sometimes I feel like Eric might say no. Depends on how bad the fight is the night before decision day. He might say no. I advise Virginia to say no, but something in me tells me that she's gonna say yes. And after they've had their second dinner together with the group, and they, you know, that's when they did the nachos. They did like Tex-Mex seafood, child. They had nachos and tacos, but crab ball. It was real weird. They start talking about them damn cats. Now, this is one moment where I could say Virginia is being very unreasonable, because he says that he's allergic to cats. Now, this is what this man say. He say he allergic to cats, and she's like, but they sleep with me. She said they sleep in my crevices, which means you don't. Okay, get over it. Really not willing to budge. But then Eric is all in his interview and confessionals talking about it's an ultimatum and she's not willing to budge, and that's not fair. You've literally been giving her ultimatums since you met her. We ain't gonna say since you met. Since y'all came home and moved in together and you realized who she really was. Frat girl, party girl with all the male friends. Straight male friends. You've been trying to change that about her and giving her ultimatums about coming home at night, about having children, and about being your type of wife in your type of marriage. And if she's not willing to compromise all of herself for you, then I'm done. I'm out. Literally, you said that like every other episode, Eric. Come on, get with it. Brianna and Vincent's solo segment really wasn't much. Brianna's an old lady. She got to piss a lot on road trips, and they're getting ready to head to Hilton Head. They don't have the drama, you know, and I'm going to talk about that later, what I do not like about production and trying to cultivate some type of drama where it doesn't exist. So when they get to the house, they're all talking, and Haley asks Brianna what they've learned, and she says so far she's learned patience, and after the game they go to bed, or you know, they play the game. Y'all, that's why I said this shit was all over the place. It's hard to take notes. So they had dinner together that Haley cooked, and then they played the newlywed game, and then they went to bed. When they went to bed, they were talking about their next event for the day, and Brianna reveals to us that she has yet again surprised this man with an activity. Did we learn nothing from Salsa? And he's not excited about it. He says he's afraid of large animals and that he gonna see. Y'all know, ooh, I'ma see. When black folks say I'ma see, that's a no. Okay? But he said he gonna see. They go get the horse's child, and they give Vincent a horse named Gator. As if he already wasn't scared. They give him a horse named Gator. Vincent, you know, the lady was pushing, y'all. That little instructor lady was pushy. She caught Vincent on the right day. That's what I will say. Because that little salsa dancer instructor was pushy, and Vincent was giving him the death stare. But he ultimately gets on the horse, and he did so well. It looked like he enjoyed himself, although he downplayed it. And the whole time I was watching, I felt like a proud mama, like he was my son. You know, that's it. That's where it starts and ends with Brianna. One of Brianna's confessionals at the end of the episode, they were talking about moving, because, you know, it's a week until decision day, and they're gonna have to figure out what their living arrangements are gonna be. And Brianna said something to the effect of, because you're not gonna run over me, I'm on your level. Y'all, I 100% guarantee she was not talking about her and Vincent. I think she was talking about Chris and Paige, and just using the first person context and saying I. But I don't like that. Like, production is trying to create suspense and drama where it doesn't exist. Let's just have this beautiful black love story. The end. Like, it doesn't have to be all this, oh, because I have just as much as you, you're not gonna run over me. Brianna and Benmo said that about Vincent and the Man in the Moon. We don't believe you. Production. So Clara and Ryan drive down the next morning because she had to work, and when they get there, Ryan goes to talk to the people, and Virginia comes in with Clara while she's getting dressed, and she's like, yeah, Eric slept in here last night, but he had all his clothes on. That makes it worse. He had his outside clothes on in my bed. She says they had a fight, and so he slept in their room. A little drunk argument, you know, nothing, just a drunk argument. Clara and Ryan go paddle boarding, and they're both so athletic. They did so well, y'all. They did well. We'll talk about that later. I have this fantasy in my mind that Ryan is just gonna blow all of us away and tell Clara how much he's, you know, head over heels in love with her on decision day, but I can't be sure. They come back to the house, they take a nap, and then they write love letters together, y'all. When Ryan got out of that bed to get his notepad and they showed that booty, Ryan looked like he didn't have a BBL. Okay, that's a Brazilian butt lift, baby. He got a shelf and a slope. That booty is banging. I can't help myself. I just be looking at it. It's so perfectly plump and round, and it's just firm. Like, that's a lot of squats. They go over their love letters to one another, and he reads his love letter, and of course she cries. Now, I don't know, what y'all tell me why y'all think Clara was crying. He said, love, Ryan. That is a very general salutation. Okay, you write love on your Christmas cards, and you write love on your little notes when you was in elementary and middle school. Did she take that for love? But she says that he did, and he did affirm her a lot in all of the things that he mentioned in his love letter. But it wasn't giving I love you, and that's what would have made me cry. But hey, I think that she gives him a lot of reward for the most subtle steps forward that he's willing to take, because he gives her so little, and that wouldn't be enough for me. I'm sorry. Like I said, it was a very general salutation. Love, Simone. Okay. She reads her letter, and it's so, you know, heartfelt, and she talks a lot about her past relationships and how hurtful they were, and that makes me sad for her. Like, what was they doing to you, girl? They was cheating? I hope they weren't fighting. But she gives him a lot of kudos. I guess he's probably the best relationship she's ever had, and for that I can say kudos to Ryan, because it's good for a woman to find a man who dispels all of the past conflict, drama, situationships she's been in before. But it wasn't enough to make you cry. Not for me. Okay. She reads her letter, and she says she can't wait to say yes on decision day. I think they'll both say yes on decision day. My mouth will hit the floor if they don't. And y'all know what Ryan said. For sure. Sure. For sure. Y'all, I want him to lose sure out of his vocabulary. He's overkill. It's a sure overkill. Love Simone. And here again we have Haley bullying my best friend Jacob on camera. Her mom overnighted the bracelet finally, as she should have 6 weeks ago, and she gives it back to him. Y'all, did we miss something? Did the producers and the editors cut this part out? When did Jacob ask for the bracelet back? I never heard him ask for it back. I heard him say it's disrespectful that you never even made an effort to bring it to the home just to have it. Say for instance, we did get on a good foot. It would be great to have the next time we go on a date, or when they went to the winery or the vineyard. It would have been nice for her to have her bracelet on. She's a Karen, and he called that when they went to see each other apartments in like episode 4. He called that. She's absolutely a Karen. She makes up conflict and things where they don't exist. They're of course driving separately to Hilton Head, which I think is petty as fuck. Jacob got their first child. He went in the refrigerator. Jacob cooked all the eggs. It was just a dozen. He ate 8 of them. But when she gets there, y'all, this is what I don't like, this misrepresentation of the truth. So she gets there, she says, oh, I'm cooking. Literally, I never heard, y'all drop down in the comments, y'all know how to correct me when I'm wrong. Did she say we're supposed to be cooking for everyone, or did she say I'm cooking for everyone? Because when she complained about him when everybody got there, she said that he knew we were supposed to be cooking. What did we miss? Like, I don't like that she misrepresents the truth like that. She's a liar. and she's manipulative, and it's hard to watch. She picks at him for everything. Everyone arrives, and of course she airs him out. She can't wait to rag on him to the girls, and she was on his ass at that dinner table. Like, she was on him like white on rice, y'all. Literally. Like, she couldn't let it go. He couldn't complete a thought. He was trying to be nice. He didn't want to air her out the way she airs him out to everybody and talk about how difficult and nitpicky she is, how much she's turned off just by his mere existence. Because like he said, when she hugs him, she like pulls back immediately. Like, obviously you're not into me, so let's not even pretend or front like you are. And that's why he called her fake, because she's trying to present to her the other couples that she's giving this her greatest effort. In all actuality, y'all, she's really not. She's not attracted to him, and she's hung up on that, and she's not allowing herself to see past that. And it's annoying at this point, and I want her to leave my best friend alone. He tells her that he feels like, you know, once she pushes him to the point where he started really getting her together, he's like, this has just been one really long bad first date. And I couldn't agree with him more. It was very cringy to watch them go at it at that table like that. The next day they go crabbing. It looked like they had a good time. It looked like Haley was having more of a good time with the instructor that she was, Jacob. But baby, I love me a good blue crab, and they looked full and juicy. They go back to the house and they do a writing exercise where they affirm each other and write about the positive traits about one another. And they were both really, really nice to one another, and I appreciated that. Y'all, my best friend a snack. Jacob fine. I don't know what Haley worried about. Like, girl, y'all can go shopping and get him some new clothes. He has a great personality, as we saw when they interacted as a group. He was the funniest person in the group. He had the best, you know, side jokes. Like, did y'all see that man arms when he was sitting on that couch? Did y'all see the triceps and the biceps and the cutoff sweatshirt? Was it just me? My best friend fine, y'all. Haley tripping. Yeah. That's all I got. I'm stuck on them arms. That boy look good. That's a fine white boy, okay? His face ain't all that, but baby got body yada yada like Megan Thee Stallion, okay? Jacob the Stallion. Okay, so the share scenes that they all had together, they basically played the newlywed game, and it was super fun. Jacob had the best jokes, the best commentary all weekend. Jacob is the life of the party, but he's not like a loud sideshow, look at me, class clown type of funny. He's like the quiet guy in the corner that really be cracking us up and making a whole lot of sense at the same time. After that horrible cringy dinner they had, Jake and Haley actually won the game and knew the most about each other, but they do talk a lot. It is very interview style. I'm with Haley on that. She does have to ask a lot of questions, and the thing is, he always answers, and he's honest. And that's more than we can say for Haley. The other group scene that I have notes for is when the women cook breakfast together, and Brianna says that she's trying to be like less Brianna-ish and overbearing with Vinny, and Claire says that people often ask her if she's losing herself, and while she says no, I call bullshit. She is. She is not allowing herself to express exactly how she feels about her marriage and her relationship with Ryan, out of fear, I feel like, of running him off or making him, you know, regress in how much he does care for her. And that's not serving to her. You know, that's not being fulfilled and validated in your marriage, and that is losing yourself. So like I said, I call BS. And then Virginia says that they're working on making their marriage theirs, because like she said, Eric needs physical touch and she just want to be left alone. Yeah, I told y'all last week when he picked her up in that kitchen, she looked so bothered. Like, bro, you're smothering. He gives smothering too. Like, he want to cuddle and spoon and shit. Virginia like, bitch, I'm drunk. The room's spinning. Can you back up? It's hot. The next group scene is when the women meet after their excursions, and then Haley says, well, evidently I had a tone when I came in. You did. I hope that when Haley watches this season back, she sees herself for who she really was to Jacob, and that she goes to counseling and she gets over herself, and soon. Virginia keeps talking about the regression in their relationship. Exactly. That's what this should have been called, a regression tree. Because there was no tree. We just talked about how they moving. We repeated a lot of the same things, and we talked a lot about how basically she and Eric are moving backwards. Brianna talks about horseback riding and Vinny coming out of his comfort zone. And I can say that she does move him out of his comfort zone, but she really needs to learn how to compromise too. Because, you know, get him out of his comfort zone in the next, you know, over time, gradually in the next 3 to 5 years. Trying to make this man do all this crazy shit in 6 weeks, this blitz that she putting him through is a bit much. Claire says that she needs to be told she's attractive and wanted and affirmed like that. Now, I ain't hear him say all that in that letter, but maybe they edited that part out. But hey, she like it, I love it. And then Brianna asks if she's in love, child. That's the $1 million question. She is, he ain't. Next. Then they all cook dinner together. Ryan asks about what their plans are after decision day, and Brianna and Vincent talk about moving. Brianna isn't crazy about moving into his 1-bedroom apartment, but also she ain't saying I ain't going like Virginia is. Claire and Ryan have trivial concerns per usual, and then Virginia says that she going home after decision day, and they gotta find a place where they can mutually exist. And Eric, y'all, that Twitch star here, y'all, Eric turned into abusive Lifetime movie husband in a quick snap of the finger. Okay, he says that, you know, it's an ultimatum, and he doesn't like that, and he's missed the ultimatum. And I think what Virginia voiced in that moment was very, you know, poignant. She was like, well, if it's important to you, you have 4 months to find somewhere for us to live. Not find somewhere for us to live, but to rent your place out so we can go live somewhere together. And he thinks that his compromise with her is creating a space for her in his home. No, compromise is we need to find a place. I get it. She's had them cats for 5 years. She wants somewhere where they all can be comfortable. I'm with that. I think that she's using the cats as an excuse, but she also wants to be comfortable, and she won't be comfortable in his space. We revisit the going to visit your spot. His spot was like very jazz clubby. It was dark. It had blue lights and shit and stiff ass furniture, and hers was like making my way downtown, like very valley girl, sorority girl esque, like warm and inviting. And she just not gonna feel comfortable there. I wouldn't feel comfortable. I couldn't move in with nobody neither, y'all. I'm just keeping it real. Like, I could do it for a little while, but long term, nah, we gotta figure this out. I don't even want to put my furniture in here. We need a mutual space. Like I said, the cats is an excuse, but they do need a mutual space. Then he really turned me off when he started dropping the F-bombs, y'all. I was over it. What was in them yellow drinks? Was that margaritas? Because the tequila went all the way up to, it blew Eric's fuse. Okay, he started dropping F-bombs. And then they all go home. So Jake leaves first. He grabbed his bison out the fridge, girl, because I'm not leaving my $30 bison in here. And y'all ain't gonna eat it. He ain't say bye to nobody, and Haley tried to act like she was so surprised. Girl, you mean he don't want to say bye to you. You might be mad if he wake you up. I think Eric and Virginia are much better sober than they are tipsy, because they seem to have it was the same conversation the next morning, but it was just much more friendly and respectful. Brianna and Brenton, that's a cute couple name. Brinson acting like they're not saying yes on decision day, child. And then that's it. And then that's it. I ain't getting nothing else out of it. It was a good episode. It was good to see them all interacting with one another. It was good not to see Chris and Paige, but I'm interested to see how Decision Day goes. Did y'all see the previews for Decision Day and Chris and Paige? Child, they are them some nutcases. It's something wrong with Paige just as much as something wrong with Chris. Okay, that's all I got, y'all. If you made it this far, thank you for sticking around, and I will see you guys next week. I think, is it Decision Day next week? I'll see y'all next week for Decision Day, I think. Thumbs up, subscribe, bye.